they're kind of innovators when it comes to playing this particular double duelist, and they're already off the races into B.
It's true. There are a few players like cainzera that are able to do what cainzera does, and he's already able to catch a body and be a body on the way down to let the rest of Envy get onto that B site and have a 3v2 advantage as Nismo comes from the baby door link and Satellite from the back B link. Flash to open things up, and I think after Cubert's matchup against Maryville, we got to see two key things kind of come into play, which was Knight's ability to get active on top of his smokes, which was something he was struggling with when he took that role, and then Satellite actually being able to apply himself to fights rather than just be a person that people were scared of approaching and thus not a site that people came to, so he wasn't able to really get as much connection as he wanted to. Once those two things started clicking more for Cubert, they looked a lot stronger, so I do kind of understand them wanting to take Lotus here because...
Yeah, and I think the thing, too, for Cubert is, yeah, I was going to say, in this bonus round coming up, you're trying to force the tempo a little bit, and I kind of understand it because, again, the combination of agents that you have allows you to play with some early aggression. That time we see it at A main, and then a quick wrap back to B. You're kind of trying to surprise Envy by showing force on one side of the map, then quickly hitting you in another, but I don't know. I understand the idea. You're trying to catch Eggster and cainzera off before they can hit things like the double tap shield, before they can get some sort of an entry into sight. But I don't know. It's just as soon as cainzera feels pressure, I feel like he's one of the best when it comes to reacting on the ISO, whether that be by double tap or a contingency, or even just throwing the wall up. Like, there's just a lot of options, I feel like, in terms of how you respond to it if you're Envy, and so far so good.
Yeah. And the cainzera conversation always kind of has to be had. He is truly such an anomaly. Fun stat I found today, actually. Not only does he have the best rating in North American Challengers, he has the best rating out of any currently ongoing Tier 1 or 2 Valorant League that is over 100 rounds in. In other words, nobody is dominating any league of Valorant right now more than cainzera is dominating North America.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
He is truly in a league of his own. And if he were to ascend this year, he wouldn't be able to play for another 2.
Who's going to play a duelist? It just, I don't know. It just feels like they're just kind of still searching for a little bit of identity. And so far in Stage 3, they've provided that. So here we go, back off tech pause. Envy showing force towards C. No commitment here, though. Just trying to see how much they can wiggle around this Cubert defense.
Just burning away at this Vice Util nice and early. Going to pressure Satellite to maybe stick his head out before the rest of the fight can get here. Cubert do a good job of starting to lean weight towards fights early. Good understanding of macro in the pre-plants here. And a Prowler is going to get tossed on top of the front line, but you do already have one in. The Vines to try and facilitate that, but Ion still undeterred. Satellite able to hold it down for one, and the rest of Cubert has shifted on, but the gun diff still persisting, and Envy are able to gain that ground, and ultimately the plant. Inspire just trying to make sure that nobody is holding out the back line and going to be able to flush out this site.
Yeah, and re-clearing the site isn't going to be too much of an issue, you'd think, because you still have smokes available and you still have the Fade utility. So really good stuff here. Cubert isolate onto one. And now you know for a fact that that paranoia that the next is going to be on site. Just comes down to, can you stop Poppin, who's already found himself 2 quick ones. Nightfall at the ready, immediately uses it to the 1v2.
Hopping up to the high ground here, no fear of losing noise, but Nismo jumps up and spots him. Such low health for both of these remaining players, though. Smoke has to get tossed on, and as the spike gets tapped, Poppin has to take the risk. Caught on top of the smoke, and goes one, and the spray down for both. Rose getting tossed onto the boxes here as Cubert continue to stick 2 on, but Envy have got the rotation going over to A.
You and me.
And as cainzera lets himself be known, he will get reduxx into the contract. Wins that opening fight. Nismo stopping Inspire, though, and around Rubble, he's able to contain this for now. cainzera still having to play keep away, and Caillou is now here with the Odin to fully suppress. Envy have to once again rotate, and Eggster has not really made any headway just yet. The Vice util is still yet to be cleared. 30 seconds to go.
This is fine, I think, in terms of Cubert dealing with that overlaying kill contract. The interesting thing here is the Vice wall. Afterwards, the decoy blocks it, but Satellite gets turned aside. Envy's numbers too strong. Will still amount to a plant, but opportunity with the null command and 1 off of, or 2 off of a Nightfall for Cubert to find their way back in. A couple of shots actually do tag on to Poppin, but no, Envy just forced the issue. The contact at Mound is going to be pretty significant. And yeah, Cubert is just going to try to force this one back, but you've got so much safety here for Envy to back off. And yeah, the trap wire is the exact line in the sand that you were hoping for if you're Envy, just to kind of reset that. You've even got smokes in play, and then it's a wide open B site. Envy's just getting a read on everything right now. I mean, there really is not a single thing that they're doing even close to incorrectly. As Dismo is blessed to find one through the smoke, it's going to force this retake to make its way through double door.
Bring them down.
Just waiting for them to burn as much as possible, but again, that's the thing about Envy's setup is that they can just hold regardless. TP in to gain some passive space, but this high ground from Poppin is so powerful. It's able to hold it down for so long, and now the second wave comes in.
But with those key ultimates, we'll see what they want to use, as it's going to be a Nightfall likely first followed by a null command here.
A Nightfall sent in. That's going to give Caillou every reason to just gun it down, and he'll get a decent damage trade. cainzera daring to hold this, but the rest of Cubert can approach the site and have enough to work with this time. Along with the null command, they're able to fully bully Envy off the site. And this will get Cubert on the board.
See how they want to try to break down the rest of everything else. Tree is Caillou's able to spam and use the Odin in ways that, well, Daddy Rye is happy about.
Still, though, Envy are able to press on top of it, and with the help of the cyber cages, they keep Satellite from properly trading. He's going to step out on top of the spike plant, though, and it's Ion's job to hold it down. Luckily, he can. Also happens to be one of the best players here while on that smokes roll. Just insane fragging capabilities that this whole team has. Unreal. Everybody's caged up at the drop spot. Knight's good for 2, Reduxx good for 1.
Are even kind of a weird spot trying to defend this, because it's going to have to largely be through this cross, and yeah, there's just a lot of stuff in the way here. A little bit of spam, Envy will now be aware, and it doesn't make a difference. The spam is just too strong. Yeah, I'm really surprised they don't take the kill contract over to C here.
Yeah,
that's just a little bit too easy for Cubert on the other side.
Yeah, that felt very high and dry. It seemed like you could do a lot more than just kind of walk in with that one. But Envy, once again, trying to go for the early war.
I think especially with Steel Garden, retake as you see fit. But this round instead will be, a bit of a blind kill contract, which it does land. It doesn't get converted, though. Knights will find his win and stay alive over towards Waterfall. So a bit of an oddball there, because I think Knights actually teleported back to Waterfall and ended up getting caught by the kill contract then. But regardless of it, Envy will get the spike down. We'll go 3v3 with a lot of this retake looking to make its way over to the backside of the site. No ultimates here to help this for Cubert. So it's really going to be down to what can Caillou do to break down some space with this utility.
Knights getting pressured with the C's. Poppin really wants to grab that kill, and he will go unpunished. Every member of Envy will, in fact.
How do you hold that space, especially with a Vice? The answer is you're not able to. So there has to be a level of just kind of setting yourself up appropriately for the entry, which they're going to have to play for likely some sort of a Steel Garden recovery on C, because there's just no way they deal with Exeter, especially with the Metzler drift open. He's going to hit the flash and make a move, but there's the line in the sand.
Go for the fight immediately, and there's another player available to trade. Exeter is going to jump on out, but Envy is here to play, and they've already gotten the spike down. The fight rages on, and Cubert haven't even gotten a word in edgewise, but now the Steel Garden pursues the players in the back. Exeter just holding it with the shorty, and every other member of Envy getting out scot-free. They have so much room to still play with, and every line of defense is held down. It's once again trivial.
The Steel Garden really doesn't do much at all, because half the team is split away from it so deeply, but we could break that down for a year as we get into round 12, and Cubert will take over 2/3 of the map pretty quickly, and they'll leave Satellite by himself on top of it.
Yeah, Reduxx kind of just not really giving a care, breaking through, and Envy going to be forced to push into the sheer Satellite, getting that opening kill, and swinging into both Poppin and Exeter. What a pop-off from Satellite that strands Envy momentarily. But Cubert still walled away for the time being, and not with the best guns. Reduxx from the back in the courtyard, able to make headway. And an explosive round from Satellite lets Cubert open that door back up and gives them a third round.
And that seems to be the case early here, as Exeter's already making a move over towards Mound, teleports back to safety, and Cubert's gonna be on for the chase.
Yeah, Reduxx trying to track that down. Inspire with the early hold, and can hold against Reduxx in the slide. How does he get out of that before falling? At the very least, Dexter cannot make up for that lost time, and so Cubert can burn their way onto C site, but the pot shots are raining through, and Caillou is on 8 HP, so Cubert need to go for a hard reset, and it's really tough with cainzera already making all this distance on the reapproach. Double tap will expire, though, so we'll have to go in dry, as will the rest of Envy. They've already used just about every shred of util, and Cubert will take advantages of that with the re-up. So we'll see how much Envy can get away with here. Nobody even buying a sheriff here for the retake. Knights holding close with the shotgun, can dance around the door. That's gonna be 3 for him, actually. Nicely done. Cubert might be able to get away with this flawlessly. He can reset against Inspire. There you go. To just run off of purely diffing. Goodbye. That's just terrific spraying from Inspire. Unthinkable. Again,
yeah, it's been good.
Cubert will dig their heels in. reduxx will get in front. At least get rid of Inspire. cainzera will choose to double down into this fight, but Cubert are already back out. Fast lane to Shroud and hitting the door to quickly escort to B, where Poppin will be the first line of defense. No util available though, and Caillou has the off angle. Cubert, switch it up. And now the high ground is the only thing that Envy can really hold on to. Ion and Eggster. Good for 1 to start. First swing up from Satellite. Cuts down 1. This bonus round already influential for Cubert. Ion, cainzera into 2. To negate how much work this ends up doing. I'll get rid of the wires, but Inspire, that watchdog, waiting out the knife and stepping on as the approach comes through. He's gonna try and go for the 1. And Nismo, caught with his pants down. Inspire steps through the door and catches Satellite as well. And it's a full reset of the fight before Cubert can even get the fight started. reduxx forced into the back, able to take care of at least 1, but now he's gotta be forced back onto that high ground and play puppy guard on top of the spike. Luckily he can though, as Poppin gives himself away. And with the worst gun, reduxx able to swing it. Poppin still wins that fight though, and Eggster resetting down the river. Caillou forced to one sideline, Knights to the other, and it resets into the 1v1 against cainzera. A TP fade by Knights!
All eyes forward here for Cubert on the high ground double stack you're about to see.
Not a whole lot of reliable tools, but Envy always work with what they've got, and they usually make it work. Cubert, though, on the streak and have all the positions they need to. Everybody's caught. Ion forced away just to try to stall a little bit longer and maybe get away with something, but he won't.
Nightfall already out towards B. This is just a show of force and a bit of a fake. Prowler will reveal 2 members on the mini door. But will they know that Ion is playing forward? Yeah, they do. They're going to get a kill there. And your ultra final elimination for reduxx. This has been perfect. It's a wide open A site.
Forces a full reset from Envy. They'll back all the way out except for Kane. Early to it and can't do a thing. Eggster from the drop as well. And Cubert, their eyes are on the prize. They are locked the hell in. They're ready for Inspire on the pre-fire. Oh, but he can still get 1 on the way down. Easy start outside of rubble here. 3 of Envy packed into the cubby. They make it 4. Whole gang's here with the clone's help. Full clear of that. Pretty easy for Cubert. They'll lose 2 along the way here, but Inspire does not really have anything to offer to this, so it's all about just how much Cubert can hold on to on the way down, making sure that nothing silly goes on here.
Here's all this utility, but just a small smoke to keep Envy a bit further forward. The gate crash will have a chance to brack things up, but knife will deny. And now you've got everything in front of you. Ion for the first, but how do you get out? You don't.
Yeah, there's just too much in front of you. And not enough to back the rest of the fight up. Poppin forced to just watch, and a great late fragment thrown by Nismo, understanding the rhythm of how they're going to try and trade this out. Cubert have really been studying how Envy move, how they react, how they generate space. Poppin does peek back out and catches Caillou. Courtyard has been regained by Envy, and as the Steel Garden's gonna fade away, he's still got a couple ults in the tank. Kill contract out for cainzera, and Poppin still making space downstream. Knights dealt with cainzera quite swiftly, actually. And on the way out, he actually deals with Inspire too. Poppin has to ace to save this round. Backside's cleared. Both of these last members in drop. Poppin, no bullets left, the right click!
cainzera in the fold. And if he can get on site with the double tap, he could be very deadly.
Yeah, he's been trying to play a babysitter more than just a W keyer lately. He was playing courtyard so much more aggressively previously, but now instead he's going to play purely for the trade into that momentum swing. And with the relay bolt already used, KaneZera is just going to hold the back line. Nismo with the opener, and Poppin is cleared in the corner, but still, Envy is just on the outskirts of this, and KaneZera just now hits that double tap. Perfect timing too. Nismo finally trades it away, but Ion has the ladder, and Envy can still push this out. Spike cannot go down, and 40 seconds on the clock. Cubert fully pressured away from the C site.
Well, the rotation to mid's going to feel a little dire here. They will get a plant, but it's just down to how do you set yourself up in this 2v3, because it's going to be a bit of a split hit, and yep, you have the dimensional drift you have to fight up against. So that's going to be a lot of information, all the information for Eggster, but how do you survive? The answer is you don't, and it's going to be map point for Envy just like that.
It's got to be major from him. Here comes the pinch. KaneZera double tap expires, as does he. Eggster with the counter frag, and reduxx now sliding in and out. High ground yet again has to be the most powerful tool. Poppin yet again has to be the linchpin to save Envy this round. And now he's the only player standing. reduxx.
The Nightfall at the ready, and you're not far off from getting a null command either. This comes down to who connects, and reduxx will punish the aggression here from Envy. Other side of things, Nightfall is ready, but the kill contract is going to be one off, maybe even earned here, which I think that's the biggest difference maker here for Envy trying to get this thing done, is can you get KaneZera a good target, and can you pull it in a spot that he's going to be safe in case something like that happens, to where he gets a little bit overwhelmed and gets followed up as soon as he hits the ult.
You'll really have a lot of ways to fight it out when they don't know how many people are there, and we're still going to keep some people around though. Nismo stays in lobby and now has stranded the spike, so
I don't understand.
I mean,
that.
Knights is going to have to use this TP when they get to site, and that's just a little extra time wasted, unfortunately, but they can dump onto Inspire. reduxx with this ultimate available is able to clear away the C site, and with the amount of people that they know were over on the A site, they're able to clear this out and plant Spike very quickly, and they'll plant for the back too.
Plant
this is
deep
smart.
too. Yep, yeah, that's the biggest thing about this, is you use the Knight's ultimate to grab the spike, get back to work, and now it's just down to dealing with KaneZera and their entry for Envy.
Into the river, Caillou sprays down from the river. And it's an easy sightline. KaneZera having a clutch up in the 1v4, and it's such a monumental task. So much in his way.
He's going to have a really, really quick natural flank because of this.
Yeah, easily crunched. And no way to collapse on top of it. Inspire with this half lurk through Baby Door is early. Nismo not prepared for it, and so it is a trade away that Cubert have to facilitate. Prowler tossed in, and Inspire is just going to double down. Caillou caught with the C's up, and Envy at the perfect moment, get the drop, get the aggression, and Inspire's not done. 3 kills now for the Cypher, and that's opened the door back up for Envy to cross whichever way they want to go. It's wherever Inspire chooses. Hop on the trade, baby. Let's give Envy another ace. Cubert may not be ready for how many players are available. Caillou once again on the Odin, no operator in sight for reduxx this time around, or Satellite. Cyber cage to stop, and Envy, they've played enough of the waiting game. It's time to go. Relay bolt in for reduxx's first kill. Refrag, Eggster on top for 2. Reload stops him. KaneZera out for the next 2, and it's down to just Satellite, who has to get the spike first. KaneZera before that, and he does. Back through the door. It's already sprayed down by Poppin. Satellite catches him off guard. Steel Garden on top as Ion doesn't reveal himself, but can't do so until after the spike goes down. Satellite will set up shop in C for the 1v1 to save Lotus.
Would you imagine, after this being tested? Oh, yep, why not? I was about to say.
Inspire, once again, getting aggressive, getting boastful, forcing Cubert members to stick around, and Caillou once again caught with util up. Envy on the verge of the util bluff. Now respect how much space Inspire is taken, and it seems that they'll try to double down on it. Yeah, he's just gonna wade through the smoke. He doesn't give a damn. Cubert does stabilize. Paranoia's gonna catch him, but Envy, since they're busted on A, cycle into the B. Knight's great paranoia to slow him down, but Envy has far more to offer. Take this B site. KaneZera will set up shop up top. And this is where Envy feels strongest with this setup. They can spread back out. They still have a Haunt available. They still have 2 TPs for Ion to reset. Hell, Eggster still has a flash too. They can reset as many times as Cubert. And cainzera continuing to hold this high ground as Cubert still backed away quite a distance. Still 2 coming from Link. A bit of a weaker portal. And Eggster forced to hold Baby Door that's unoccupied. Cubert can double stack on these fights and isolate. They can gain advantage quickly. Knights for 1. Satellite trades onto Ion. cainzera dips into the smoke for the Link and can double up on the fight from the steps. That now dives in on from Knights, who clutches up with both kills and with just enough time left on the clock.
Because it looked like Inspire had just won the map, or at least won the round, by playing that opening first blood through tree side, but not the case. And now we go again. Must-win round for Envy defensively. They're just taking the battle over towards A main. Even exchange, early 3v3. You've got the Fade and the ISO really most notably still available for Envy, plus the setup from the Cypher at C. But you have what you want here if you're Cubert offensively. You've got reduxx with Nismo. Can you find some sort of an opening flash or dash?
Over there.
cainzera doing what cainzera does best. Waiting for these dry peaks, seeing if he can get away with something in Cubert. They know that he's itching for it. They just sense that that's exactly what's getting looked for. A free opening, a free kill, as Baby Door gets burned. And Cubert sense their time is up here on A. Quickly rotating over via the Baby. cainzera trying to chase them down via the steps. Cubert can hold it down on B. A fake on the plant as the Baby Door gets pressed, and cainzera creeps on via the top. reduxx with the refrag, but Spike is stranded, and so it's reduxx stuck in the 1v2 to try to get Cubert out of here now. 30 seconds to go. He won't choose to rotate it. Seeing if anybody from Envy tries to step into it first. Absolutely not.
Yeah, the problem is the cyber crap right behind this plant B main. There's just no way that Envy's going to be boggled by the fact that there's no rotation here. Yeah.
Envy yet again, starting out things on A, and Cubert, this is one of the heaviest patches we've seen them go for down Rubble as well. On top of the stun, reduxx tries to go in, just gets sprayed down, and Envy won't stop there. Caillou stranded on the boxes, but given the flash, 2, 3 down with the Odin, and spraying down on the cainzera as well. Won't stop, but Kayn ends up getting the kill, and the double tap re-up as well. So a 2v2 again on the A site. Another absolutely insane scrap to start us out. That leads to an explosive site taken, Envy getting a little bit of extra time to hold on to, as well as a smoke to reset. A minute to play with as well. Seems like Envy, they really want to double down on the psychological battle. They're going to try and see if anybody from Cubert can get caught off guard here on drop before fully committing to the plant.
Is there a lifeline here in this 2v2? Because we're going to be able to get ropes control. And cainzera, yeah, what a read on the teleport. Traded, but the problem is you have no idea if Ion went up top. You're gonna have an idea, the possibility of it, but you're not gonna maybe expect that. Arc Rose down, Ion gonna reset and just play off the sound cues here. This is just literally gonna come down to timing. And I love the idea for Satellite to try to push up, but as he clears it, that's what's gonna give Ion a massive advantage in this.
Yeah, too much time being spent here on merely making sure that everything other than the farthest Ion could go is cleared away, and it's necessary, but it's something Satellite has to do. Peeks into the fight, takes a majority of the health pool. He smells blood in the water, but Ion smells a lack of time, and Satellite can't play forever. Ion still gets the kill. Early Baby Door control from Envy, and they even burned the door to get cainzera in there early. Envy has swung out on top of this. Ion for 4!
Spike down A.
Another ace unnecessary. Let's just get this over with. As Satellite with the operator has to find an early kill and will on to Inspire, but doesn't know where any other member is at this point. Has to dredge to try to salvage this map for Cubert Academy. TP out from Ion to reset. Satellite's got to clear it all. And one lone flash will end it too. In we go, Satellite. Dove onto, already quite low. First shot's good. Has to just hold it down and can't.
Cubert will start on the attack first with the pistol. Little one-way cyber cage. Gives Inspire a little bit of extra damage before they really execute. And then the reveal from Poppet is perfect. Cubert is trying to find space to work with, but this is a complete dissection from Envy.
Yeah, this is a fantastic start to the B hold from Envy. Just completely undeterred. Is Nismo the only one able to get any kills, really?
reduxx in a spot to try to get something going with the extra addition of the SMG, but it's immediately shut down. And yeah, I mean, this is kind of business as usual in terms of what you would expect out of a Cypher defense. for Envy. And I will say for Inspire, again, like, you talk about his performance on the opener on Lotus, like, great stuff, honestly, in terms of holding a solo site. He was at worst going 1-for-1 in the majority of rounds that he was being approached on. The difference in this map is going to be, can he get, you know, an early, I don't know how to say this, like, get like an early setup to where he can get information quickly, and then you can have domination of the middle of the map for Envy, because the biggest manipulation that they can have defensively is just how and when do you use the gate crash. So
yeah,
that's going to be the big question mark for Envy, to be more fluid on the defensive side dealing with Cubert.
I am really curious how, you know, what role Eggster is going to play as the twin duelist to cainzera's Neon.
The easy answer is that I feel like the duelists are just going to start bragging out. And well, Eggster gets a little bit crossed up on this initial approach, just not playing as far aggressive forward as Envy. But this is what you look for out of cainzera, is the ability to reach out stuff. Now, the issue is that's a lost area and has Poppin stuck in a corner quite literally. He's got nowhere to go here, so Knight's going to respect the spam, and Cubert will cleanly take A. Ion may find some kind of a connection here, but no, gets pushed back. Marshall, not the weapon that you want, but the weapon you have to use.
Just
yeah, it's the exact same setup. I mean,
yeah,
I just
doing it again.
I really don't think that we're going to see much more of that. I mean, that's when you would assume, like, you get a little peek with the Yoru, then you pop a double shield or double tap if you need it with the ISO, but I'm not really too sure about that setup for Envy. This double duelist playing off of each other, kind of playing a bait and switch position, but they've been beat now 2 rounds in a row by an owl drone. Like, that's all it's been. So
yeah,
that's a scratcher.
This round should be 2. Envy are on the site again, but Cubert's kind of let that happen. Ready for the stack. And then just sink their teeth into it. Ion with the setup on the smoke. Popping out. Checked. Nicely dealt with. Cubert have a flawless.
I think if you're looking at that double duelist setup at A long, you can't just play crossfire setups. This is just fuel for satellite. Okay. Nearly the world's fastest ace, because everything just runs right into him, and that's going to be, well, that's going to be a Viper's Pit in round 6 for satellite, more than likely, just if you just confirm up the orb, or if he just gets the ace here. Unlikely with Inspire playing off the flank and the position for satellite, but that's going to be a very quick Viper's Pit for Cubert.
Yeah. I mean, this was like, come here. There you go. Nice. Eggster recognizes there's too much of a stack, and he'll duck out. Elbow will get very quickly taken, and now the Hunter's Fury out from Caillou, now that they're extended, and it's beautifully placed. Catches Inspired. That lets Cubert go, yeah, wherever they want to, really. A bit of a whiff with the blast packs, but now reduxx can just guard dog as the spike gets planted, and Envy have to fully reset.
Yeah, that's a great barrier orb, just to kind of give you a bit of a one-way from the low ground at A main. But another round where, again, you just kind of, Cubert is crossing T's and dotting I's right now on Sunset. You get a read that no one's on the corner for the crossfire, so you go to business as usual. Oh, well, pause. We'll talk about that in a moment, as Envy are brewing for a bit of a retake through mid.
They're just gonna cut in. Satellite caught early. cainzera. Oh, this kid. Double shock dart out from Caillou. You're revealing your head a little much for me, buddy. Overdrive is out. Caillou just holds it down. Anywhere other than mid. So Envy feel a lot of agency, especially with the lesser guns. cainzera falling into that trap as Nismo's watching it. But it's all to show for Ion, a little closer to the peak. Gets out 1. Now comes the stack. Ion just holding it down. 3 down. And Knights forced to chase down the ultimate, as Ion will get away with it, but satellite sandwiches and prevents it from getting any crazier. Still though, Envy are up 3-2 at the moment with Cubert. 30 seconds to go and up on B main.
Yeah, the weapons just aren't great, though, and you cannot get Inspire into the mix to pop a neural theft to commit to this. Poppin's in a one-for-done situation here, not going to be able to use the Hunter's Fury. Good info off of this. Damage also being tallied. Just down to, can you finish off the last bullet needed to take care of Nice. He's got the spike. He also has it from the shadows. Can he pull something crazy like getting over to A? No, he's going to stick for this over towards the B site. Eggster wants it, has it. And he will try to get it out of play. Hunter's Fury for the defense, cutting across the site. Poppin will connect, but they lose their defenders around A again. It's just been too open. It's been too easy. And now it's on to KaneZera playing it off angle. And you know what? We don't check the day one corners. And that's going to save Envy a 4th round here.
Yeah, that will do it for sure. Knights with 33 HP does have the ultimate. I doubt we'll see him use it this round. Certainly tempted to try to salvage this round for Cubert, but
30 seconds left.
a crucial lack of a check gives Envy a 3v1 advantage. And I'll try and guard it. Oh, they do!
I think the thing about it is if Exeter continues to want to try to commit over towards A elbow and you can get that information, you just keep forcing it back. Now this time it's a battle at mid. Does get evenly traded, so 4v4.
You will not kill
But
my
I'm honestly just surprised that Cubert is not just going to continue to try to play off of this A execute. Resurrection will come through, gets us to a 5v4 situation, and yeah, we're going to just re-scout out A. Problem is we got a one-way smoke here this time, which is new that Cubert would have to clear, and they may not want to even go that direction anymore.
Yeah, they're going to have to slow that down if they do. I think Cubert were just far more into the idea of attacking top mid now that it was more consistently occupied, and they do find KaneZera after that. And now they'll smoke on the opposite side of that pull. So they're really selling the B pinch, and they'll actually go for it. Poppin and Ion do catch one on the way down as the smoke dissipates, but Cubert is at least in. So it'll be a 3v3 that Cubert have the sight for.
Yeah, we're going to Dimensional Trip to re-clear this.
Yeah.
Problem is, yeah, Viper's Pit's in play, so as much as you can get info here from Exeter, there's still the question of how do you actually clear out the pit itself, especially with everyone holding onto corners. There's the decoy. Exeter will fall, and now it's just down to how do you get this done the hard way, and they're just not going to be able to. Another ace on the cards, this time to reduxx.
Now he's got a showstopper to enter into A with, and with the help of the toxic screen, Cubert feel far more comfortable doing it. Now that the owl drone is heard, they know that Poppin is vulnerable and alone and stuck. reduxx has free entrance onto the site, free kill. Nismo opens it up even further onto Link, and this is the momentum that Cubert is looking for on top of the lesser guns that Envy had to bring to the table. Early flank here by Ion, and he's able to get away with the kill onto Satellite, so Cubert yet again have to act fast as Inspire is already here on the Link. Metal is going to get tossed into elbow 2. Envy want to try and make quick work of this, but with the spike down, Cubert can reset the fight. Inspire getting onto the site here. Cubert resetting fully in elbow after all that util got dumped in the space early on. Ion tries to get away with the flank number 2, but Nismo on kill number 3. Inspire trying to go.
Different look this time for Cubert into the limited purchase. Going to make their play over towards B. That's an easy angle for Inspire. Actually gets a little bit of collateral damage and turns that into a second, maybe even more, as Cubert seem like they want to try to continue to force this.
Cyber Cage reset him so beautifully, and now Envy can double on the fight that they know Cubert is still here for. Caillou trying to get the off angle outside of the smoke. Nismo and Satellite can hold it down from a distance, and Nismo does spray through, has a res available and the barrier too, so could turn this into a 2v2. Looks like that's exactly what he wants to try to do, but with the spike also there, no reason for Envy to not just tear through this barrier. Nismo stuck with a really tough fight here. Envy is not going to give him an opportunity to go for anything other than this 1v2 fight. And with only 40 seconds to go, it's not like Nismo can reset anywhere other than the front lines. The camera catching in the second he steps out. No need to even start the fight until he's fully confirmed.
30 seconds left.
Nismo has the idea of where he is, but he's already been peeked. One-way setup for Inspire to get the easiest kill as Nismo has to make the traversal. 20 seconds now. Slow orb tossed away. Nismo can heal himself too with the reset if he wants. Poppin and Inspire holding close. Stepping out of the smoke, and Envy has the setup.
That's unique, that's new, and it's going to test Envy in a different way than we've seen before.
KaneZera holding a little farther on the outskirts, and the Hunter's Fury still can't track him down. KaneZera gets away with 2 before falling, and Ion can now re-up the fight. Exeter is also here as Cubert want to double down and grab more. Also with that res, Nismo tries to back in the fight, and it's a beautiful trap that Caillou is here for as well. And Cubert ends up with the majority, both in that fight and the last one that will happen this round, as Envy have to quickly follow Cubert back over to B site, where they'll try and set up for a 3v2 post plan.
What a play from Nismo. I mean, the Owl drone initially gives you the intent attention, they're going to be making a play through mid. But the resurrection plus the follow-up off the slow over is perfect. And now you've got numbers for a 3v2.
Poppin's already here, and Cubert catches his head pretty early. Extra popping in for 2, though, and Caillou, it's all down to him to find a 7th. Extra holding down the fort.
Will likely be a staple of how they try to defend the A site. Just comes down to, do they try to do it aggressively, or do you try to back off a little bit and try to use numbers and utility to play retake, as Caillou will find first blood into Inspire lurking at A? But do they expect a second lurker in the form of Eggster? Doesn't matter, he teleported.
Yeah, he'll just TP back out. Interesting decision from him to not try to chase that down, but Cubert is very quick to meet E-push, and
what?
Yeah, not to meet Satellite, though. He's alone for far too long, and Kane's Era gets enough time to get the relay bolt up, too. Luckily, he's dealt with quickly enough, and Ion meets a crowd, still gets away with 1, so it's a 2v3, but the spike is still ticking away. Cubert's got to get to this, and they've got to do it now. Poppin sequenced away by that slow orb, but the paint shells don't catch him. He can try to extend this fight with 17 HP, not checked for a moment, but luckily, Cubert can deal with him and follow up. And we're going to try and speed things up, knowing how unoccupied B site is for the most part, but gun diff is still pretty important. Caillou able to hold that down. Zera is still going on the rampage and opening up the entirety of the B site itself. Caillou going to retreat to get that heal from Nismo to reset for a 4v3, as the spike has not been planted, actually. Zera tried to search for extra, trying to pile drive on top of the spike plant, but Cubert's just here for the full-blown stack v stack, and nobody's going to get away with anything. Zera will fall soon, and now Ion has to double back into market to try to make up for it. Cubert's already here, though. They have been way too quick in these opening 2 rounds for Envy to really blink for it, and even Ion shots.
We'll see if they can find value with it, because then again, here we are. There's a slow orb, you back off site, you let Knights play a bit of a crossfire, and everyone just stays alive. It's good stuff here from Cubert until trades are decent.
Yeah, they're going to spray it through, and again, they'll make something out of this site. Having to burn the wall does give Cubert a little bit of extra time, and now the Hunter's Fury going to get tossed on top of default plant. Can you do any chip? Doesn't seem like it, no. And very able to kind of spread themselves back out, along with guns to take this back. This could be a really pivotal round for them here on the attack if they can fully make it work. But we still have a lot of extra util to throw at this reduxx with that paint shell and even an extra blast pack on the table. Caillou has every piece of util under the sun to flush things out. And that's exactly what Cubert's going to do, fully corner Envy. We're going to play around this clove smoke. Reduxx finds Poppin first, though, and now the slide in from Zera to try and save something. Ion yet again, the stalwart force that just won't hold back!
Cubert are playing a perfect defense right now. This is going to be a bit of a weirder round because they are split on their purchase just a touch, but how you set yourself up to deal with this Envy double duelist, Cubert are providing every single answer they need to. So, I know it's tight. It's 10-6, about to be 10-7, but it's kind of like the first map from the last series where it's just like Cubert's dominating in the narrative of how they're playing the map right now. It's just Ion's coming different.
It's true. There still looks to be an overarching better team while looking at this map. It's just these hairpin mistakes.
Fast lane goes up. Is there a Hunter's Fury with it? Yes, there is. Satellite extender, right? Follow-up is good, a little bit deeper into sight. That is picture perfect from Envy.
You saw this coming from a mile away, and yet you really can't do anything about it. This is the round that turns the game on its head, that gives Envy a portal to taking the lead. They just need to finalize. Stepping out from Reduxx is able to deal with Eggster, but also most of Reduxx's health pool. It's a util dump that Zera prevents early on by swinging it, and Caillou can't properly trade. 3 into open. Knight's already sensing the issue. Viper's Pit tossed in very deep, and Ion strikes down Knights. Walking in really far after the pit got thrown up with 0 intel. Nismo early to this in the market, catches Eggster, but Zera on top of this. This is what the double duelist is for. Ion having to use the ultimate after Reduxx is able to clear the crowd. Poppin finding Reduxx though, and now Ion clearing the queue in the market. Envy have enough to get over the line, and Satellite now alone has to save this team.
Toxin screen down.
No more rounds to make up for it. No more room to not go for it.
No, he backs on this. There's not.
You gotta go. There's no time.
No, he's
Hold on to this
out.
one rifle. Oh, man, this
you
is
saved
so
the
rough.
rifle here. 10 times out of 10. It's not worth losing the rifle when the rest of your team is gonna have to save.
They need to reset the sight lines and just hold up shop until Cubert gives himself away again.
Unreal
but Satellite stepping in, and Ion can't catch him. A massive gap that forces Envy to press into B early on. They don't know how many members of Cubert are here, but they're going to take what they can get when they can get it. And Cubert, unable to meet outside the smoke, means that they're just going to let this go down, holding in mid and in the back of Boba. Envy just trying to play keep away, trying to make as much distance between
Paranoia retake on the way
Cubert
here.
and the
Knights
spike as
is going to be the one to
possible.
start it.
You have such a big stack here to work with in reduxx. As always, the tip to guarantee the opening frag. Poppin holding the low angle is dealt with swiftly by Satellite, and that was the biggest thorn in the side for Cubert thus far here on this retake. Inspire in the 1v3 has a nice angle for the first, but down to 3 on the decay.
Envy pushed off from the A elbow early, thanks largely because of this one way, and another walk down at mid here could find value because nobody from Cubert is even anticipating this.
Envy are starting to get even more comfortable with this round by round.
God.
Ion way too comfortable, my guy. Brother, CT spawns back there. Now I just got to
I
work
don't
with
know how
it.
You reset this if you're Envy.
I mean, yeah, that was that was round shattering. Everyone's stranded.
You have to clear out A elbow here on this one way, and actually, this is not a bad idea. cainzera could maybe thread the needle, get back around towards the backside of A, allow Poppin just to kind of go back and forth with the recon dart is seen, and it's gone from bad to worse just like that. cainzera would have to win this round by finding at least 2 through this A side. There's no other way about it.
You don't have nearly enough time to do anything else. reduxx already returning this, and I think timing's gonna be bad again. Nope, Kane's watching it, and with Caillou on this judge, it's not like anybody can easily counter him, but the spike is still so stuck in the steps. It's gotta be on Inspire to pick that up. Cubert, I mean, it's pretty clear where the majority of Envy is at this stage, and Cubert, they don't want to miss out for a second. They want to make sure this round is as clean as can be, but Envy has somehow snaked back, and with the help of this smoke back in the CT, they've been able to retake A site. They can take this site and spike down. Nice relay bolt. Hey, they make it work.
Yeah, it's the power of the clove right there for sure. It just comes down to, can you win the 1v1 on the backside of the site? You sure can, but the problem is too many members to deal with from the front. No time available.
Game top stairs has been almost completely ignored, even though Envy is, I mean, they've started walking up all the way through it, and they've still continued to just ignore it. Cubert know that their sights are set better elsewhere. Envy, they think they have so much freedom, but they might just be free-range chickens, and Cubert might just be farming. Still, though, really clean exec to start things out, thanks to the Dimensional Drift and Hunter's Fury to start things out. Dexter might be able to get that online this round. After that early setup, the board is cleared. Cubert got a re-exec to the market. Paranoia open for the 1, popping down to a crisp. Recon Bolt still catching him. cainzera next line of defense through the smoke. This isn't optimized. Oh, but that jump through is for Cubert. Just a few more members of this team to go through. Got to do it kind of quick, though. reduxx up to 3. Now that Poppin's been dealt with, forced to stand his ground on top of the trade away. Still running low on time, but that's what the barrier wall is there for. And Caillou and Nismo play protect the president.
A deadlock in play, and that was difficult for Envy to deal with. This is Cubert playing a little bit more straight up and looking to play a little bit more brawly, and we're already off to the races with opening trades. Cubert coming out on top of those trades, leaving Inspire by himself, and yeah, just we got a little bit of breathing room here. Just seeing the Vice in play is not a surprise. This is just going to be down to how forward does the Vice want to set up in combination of the Neon. So that's going to be the biggest thing for me to look at, I think.
Yes, 100%. You already saw every other member of Cubert is going to be more than willing to get proactive on top of their own angles. reduxx walking in on top of the screen and grabbing 2 as soon as Envy exits. And in the meantime, Satellite holding his own on B main. A perfect start for Cubert Academy in a round that is made quite simple very quickly. Inspire will be given this spike for free at the very least, though, but with the toxic screen, he's going to have to just burn away that clock. Cubert just reducing all these possibilities for Envy to try to make something out of this round. Appreciate how immediately they've turtled up and prevented this attacking squad from trying to find something in the headspace to grab something out of this pistol.
And just to kind of speak to the last week performance for Envy, I know there's a lot of eyes on, whoa, what the Phoenix wants to do, but pause. Inspire, well, he's about to get caught off guard here. And like a controller or a Sentinel finds your first blood, the thing is you're easily able to trade it back, which is exactly what we're seeing right there. reduxx in the follow-up, though, is good, and numbers will still hold with Cubert.
Looking for stability anywhere, anytime, and Envy find a semblance of it for a microsecond on this following B execution. but quickly burned away. And Inspire, yet again, the only one left to go.
Cubert will take a bit of a peek through B long. Nothing home, but this crossfire setup could be nasty, as reduxx will have the ability to fast lane and get out if he needs to. Paranoia will follow up and maybe a chance to peek.
No purchase for reduxx, but they'll run right into Caillou, who dinks one with that Sheriff and can now stabilize with the stack on A. And he's still looking for that opener to really capitalize onto a site. Exter will finally let that shear go so they can place some pressure onto the A site the spike is moving towards.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those, again, where you
30
look at
seconds
it
left.
and the Vice setup is once more very passive. And if Cubert choose to play this map the same way they played Sunset, which, to be fair, like, this is kind of just a weird off-the-rails call. But this map reminds me a lot of Sunset just based on how the sites are set up. It allows for things like this where you can kind of lurk off of initiation, but that A site does work a lot like how Sunset's does. So wouldn't be surprised if Cubert play a little bit more reactive off of retakes instead of try to play for the early aggression that Envy wants to play with the double duelist.
Spike's on the outside of the door. Nismo has to try and fight Ion early on to deal with this in the hallway, and he's finally able to deal with it with the help of the Guardian. Now swinging out onto that doorway, and Cubert have a lot to fire with to make it work. Exter just firing through the smoke to get the easy kill on top of the Spike, but he's now the only one left in his position. Is known to get overwhelmed. Right points. Swing out onto mid. Envy not watching it. Inspire gone. That Lurk not going to find anything this time. And Envy's pile is still not through the doorway of A site, so doesn't seem like they'll be able to find much on this execute with the eco, but still have a lot of ways in to at least start fights. They just can't really finish them with the guns. reduxx does eventually get overwhelmed. But Cubert is here to fight things out. They should have enough guns to throw at the issue. It's just about making sure you don't lose too many along the way. And
They will have to be a little bit cautious on who's in front of you and where is that Neon.
And there's got to be a really good buddy system established. And oh man, Envy. I mean, they haven't really offered anything into mid thus far this game, and Cubert have just sprayed down and grabbed the free 3. Caillou's Odin finding him crazy. Ion able to grab reduxx on the run out, so at least they grab the spike. But I mean, that's a decisive start to the round again that Cubert come away with, happily able to just completely abandon mid. We've done our job there. We can just hold the main lines now, and it should be pretty easy from there.
Yeah, that is stopping the play before it happens. If you're Envy, you're just trying to find, again, some sort of a split setup over towards, I would imagine, DA.
I know.
But the round's not done yet, and Inspire's going to find some space to work with on Elbow. Just can't win the follow-up gunfight. Knight's trying to get away and will. And it's going to leave it just down to Ion for a 1v3. You know he's capable of this.
Back into the hallway. Not red, but Satellite's on the way in from the link, so Ion's gonna go forward. High-low is a little bit off. It is now or never, all or nothing. We have to get this, and we gotta make it work. Envy, they thrive off of that, and it's just doing nothing. Exter,
oh, no.
in on his dimensional drift. That's the first time that he's faltered on his own ult this entire match as well. The cracks are starting to form here, but Envy can still overwhelm the majority of the site, take over, leave Nismo standing alone. Stack heavier into the main here. Caillou with that Odin to set up Satellite in the trap, and it's not checked. Toxic screen shrouds him away for the reset, and that's a third given to Cubert Academy before they even get on site.
It's just one of those things, like, sometimes the best solution is the easiest response. Just play off of your own toxic screen, keep yourself in a corner, get a little bit of help from your teammates on site itself, and then pop off. I mean, that's just a different moment from Satellite. We've seen it a couple of times in this head-to-head matchup, but it comes at a very pivotal time where Envy, once again, are about to set up for that same double duelist hit. Doesn't work out, and now you got to work up against adversity here in the 2v4.
No choice but to just run out into Knights. Beautiful snap. And Inspire yet again, the last body standing. Having to just go for it.
And we're going to see a quick rotation once again for the defense, trying to get on to stop this play with limited purchase for Envy. Trades are decent. Orbital strike, and they come back to the site too.
Very late. Kane's Era, though, extends and kills 2 on the outskirts and leaves Nismo by his lonesome early on in the post plant. Inspire going to be able to pick up a gun as well. Nismo, every reason to just walk into this and go for it. But Envy have the setup once again. It seems like this is really what they want to commit to. The fast, high and dry B take. And they can just flood on, make it work after the fact. There's Nismo's attempt, a rose available, but Ion steps out. It's still stuck in the hallway. It seems like they might reposition themselves. Extend back over to the link. And here comes Knights again, catching the corner and creeping back away. Reset on the blind. Kill number 2 for Knights. And number 3 as well. Ion tried to double in. And now it's the sandwich from the rest of Cubert. They can exact. At least Envy are getting a little better at dealing with this Vice util early. Nismo now forced to play a little farther forward, and they actually goaded out Knights' paranoia because of that, expecting Envy to just try to punish after losing that first channel, but instead they're gonna stick around in mid and see if they can get away with a second kill. Smoke re-upped though from Cubert as they continue to hold fast. Oh, Inspires at 1!
It's just they can't do anything wrong. Now you got the spam back up. It's just, it doesn't matter if you've got a smoke. It doesn't matter if there's a wall in front of you. The Odin can just lock down mid. The freedom that Cubert is creating for themselves defensively has got Envy completely crossed up. And honestly, I just don't know what you could do different in these last couple of rounds to best what Cubert's throwing their way. They're playing so well reserved and just causing so many issues for these double duelists for Envy, and that might be what ends up costing them in the long run here is we will get a plant and a 3v4 post plant with a stinger still in play for Eggster.
Allowing this again purely to take back. That's where the power really lies. Knight's able to TP as well. You can really go for a mix-up and force Envy to check their backs at any given moment. You can just rip this site in 2 really with the help of the wall bangs as well. Slowly turning into this, Ion holds it down for 1. Unstoppable forces for only a moment.
And that's what this composition does, is it has to stack itself up. Even here, a show of, again, mitigated aggression from Cubert, but you've got safety protocols to get you out. Dimensional drift for Envy. They're going to try to commit through this, see if they can find the kills.
I mean, they did everything to try to find Reduxx, and instead, Caillou ends up getting a kill with the shock dart, popping, though, inside, and causing some havoc, letting Envy in.
I know exactly.
And it's just enough space that was gained, yet again. It's just W King that works. Envy still lose more every step of the way until after it's all said and done, and from there,
here we go. There's the run it back. No Nightfall here. And Kane's actually finds no information whatsoever, plus 100's Fury to block the choke point. Brilliant response as the kill comes through.
that's just a perfect way to get rid of all of those threats. The Vine was even placed back a little bit farther to prevent cainzera from moving any more and reduxx getting that early kill. That's just perfect timing in every sense from Cubert. Envy forced to take the long road over to B after mid has absolutely zero guarantee. Cubert could have stuck reduxx way up here. So they'll have to commit a little bit of extra time to check in that, as the TP from Knights is just going to doubly confirm that Cubert can start heading over to B as well. Caillou,
good recon.
clearly hold. A lot available here. The Nightfall into the orbital strike is going to fully clear the site, though, and this is Envy's chance.
The thing about it is Cubert still have numbers, yep, and they still have a couple of the key pieces of utility to re-clear this site. Most notably, you still have reduxx with full utility, and you're still getting a couple of dry peaks from Inspire. Satellites teeing off for 2, and you have to pull from inside the site.
Ismo gearing onto Ion Satellite, trying to hold it, popping, spraying pretty well with the Odin, but there's more than enough this round to make it work. Cubert step back onto the site and overwhelm. Closer to that link door than other duelists normally would, letting Cubert know that they may have a little more space to take over a elbow. They still have to deal with Ion though, and he has a smoke available. Don't know he's given away yet, but there's the smoke. Cubert have to choose to get ahead of it now or never. Envy, they'll turn onto it as soon as that smoke goes into link. They've got to be quick on it, and they won't even go towards elbow. They'll fully avoid this Brim holding it down. Save for one, and Nismo's got it under control. Every semblance is Cubert's. And now they've got a hold on the post plant. Pop
Yeah,
in.
I don't know how you break back into these sites when you lose them like this.
cainzera trying to set up shop so he can be that raid boss on these opening corners, as Eggster tries to hold his own on A main. Once again, Nismo winning the 1v1 duel, and Cubert just continued to play the waiting game until Envy try to make their way back, try to claw at something to even a round out. and it's just not happening.
No. And they're going to run out of time here because this was a forced purchase on the defensive side into the Stingers. Yep. So they're going to be in a round of 11-3, where, again, the purchase is not going to look much better than it did here. If anything, it might even look a little worse. So not good news here for Envy. Have not seen Cubert on the map, but I don't even know if you can really put a lot of benefit into this composition. Whoa, hold on. Hoppin may have a chance to destroy this round.
No time now.
And yeah, they're just going to do a walk down. Again, this is just doing your discipline. Use the owl drone. Don't be surprised. There's a relay bolt in the corner. Smokes to block off the outside. Isolate the site. And then do what you do best.
Finally forcing Extra to TP away. A site is Cubert's. Envy choose to fight this early. Shock dart from Caillou. Just terrific understanding that Envy is already here. And boy, are they ready to die. It is still the one that has all the Cypher util, so we gotta cross our T's and dot our I's. We gotta be extra careful.
But it really is just spy cams, though. That's the thing. Inspire will get a little bit of a late reveal thanks to the fade, but honestly, that's not going to be enough to challenge this. This smoke at tower is just too deterrent. Now you got a spike plant already.
Let's get this party started. cainzera flashing himself in, and there's a double swing available. reduxx good for 2 on the outskirts, and Cubert only have 2 more players to deal with. Ion traded for 1, and it's all down to Extra in the 1v2. reduxx slow, though. Holding the outward angle. Crossfire attempted. 1 slide is all you need.
Attackers win.